Guided Annotation Part 1, Rhetorical Analysis 2001 FRQ Lewes Prompt.
Hey there, everybody. This is the 2001 Hey everyone, this is the Marion Evans Lewis prompt. This is from 2001. It's a rhetorical analysis. I had assigned this during the time just after we all went on lockdown. So those of you who were following along with the previous Google Classroom and the website slide would have seen this, and many of you who saw it responded to it. I have some general comments as far as feedback goes for another clip. But for right now, I wanted to do a guided annotation for you that you can check your own annotations by, and maybe there's some things that you saw that I do, and maybe there's some things that you missed that I can show you. For those of you who are new to this, who weren't following this before, you can pause the video and see the link where I've posted the this prompt. And take a moment and print it out if you can, or however you want to do it, digitally or otherwise. So we'll start in just a moment. Let me start by reminding you that the AP exam this year is different. It was already going to be different, but now it's real different because of the obvious circumstances. So it's an abbreviated version of the test. All you will have is one FRQ, and it is rhetorical analysis. Sorry, fans of the synthesis. Sorry, argument stanners. Sorry, MCs. None of those things are going to be on this year's Lange Comp test. So even though we will still look at some argument and synthesis related material, because it's important to know those things moving forward, there will be a return more directly to rhetorical analysis in advance of the test in the next month. Where I'd like to start with this passage is with the prompt. So let's remind ourselves about some of the clues that are in the prompt and the rhetorical situation that we can derive from it, and also some of the directions. First, background. The letter below was written in 1866 by the English novelist Marion Evans Lewes, who used the pen name George Eliot, in response to a letter from an American woman, Melusina Fay Pierce. Alrighty, so that gives us the background, the context that we need. Let's take a look at some of these clues so we can build in our own minds and conjure up the rhetorical situation, which then helps us to understand the choices that our speaker makes in achieving her purpose. All right, so it's a letter, so it's correspondence, which means that the speaker and the audience are, as we've seen in other examples this year, speaker and the audience are closely tied together because it is a letter to a single person. In this case, Melusina Fay Pierce is a bit of a fan, it would seem. She's written to Lewis and has aspirations as a writer and so forth. These are contextual things you can glean from it. So our speaker is Marion Evans Lewes, writing specifically to her. So she's not writing to the general public, she's not writing to her publisher, she's not writing to her aunt or whatever else. So there might be a different quality there. It's written in 1866, so that places us in an earlier time frame. So we all know to sort of flip the switch in our reader's mind so we can digest that older style of prose, that archaic prose, and not freak out about it. We also have the delicious clue here, common to the time, unfortunately, that here we have a woman who's using the pen name of a man, George Eliot. And in fact, you would find George Eliot on the bookshelves and so forth, not Lewis. So we know that about her. So there's something about her and where she's coming from that makes that important for her, and maybe to the substance of the letter. And again, we have our audience as this woman who they're not friends, they don't know each other. It's sort of an outside person writing in as a fan to a writer, in this case, Miss Lewis. So those are some of our clues. We'll see which ones of those can be of some use to us and which ones we can just sort of discard, but it's good to just sort of get our imagination flowing about where these clues can lead us.